I think the thing that excites me most about College Hill is the diversity as a whole. And when I say diversity, I'm talking about the residents and I'm talking about the collection of businesses.
Not only can I walk to see my friends, it's easy to make friends in College Hill.
I didn't grow up in College Hill. I've been here, I bought my starter home 15 years ago and now it's my forever home.
I've lived here for 58 years and I could probably tell you the names of almost everybody on the street. All my neighbors around me, they're friendly.
I am constantly amazed how many connections that I've made in those 15 years.
Seth, we're back. The Seth and Jake Happy Hour Season 2.
And unlike the annual meeting, Jake, you can actually have a beer.
That's the best news I've heard all day, Seth.
And Jake, I came prepared.
Aw, thanks, buddy. Do you want to tell our viewers how this season is going to be a little different from last?
Too often, topics are said to be too complicated to explain. So this season, we're going to try to dive in and have experts from around the region help explain these topics a little more.
After each episode, we're going to host a Facebook Live with our staff and some of our board members to discuss these topics more in depth.
Tonight, we're going to get started with something easy. What is a CDC?
Seth, that's a great question. What is a CDC? Let's find out.
What is a community development corporation? I know a community development corporation to be a civically minded entity in the neighborhood and of the neighborhood that is meant to serve the people in the neighborhood.
Community development corporations are place-based organizations working at the local level to address the challenges and opportunities facing communities.
My name is Alina Cunningham. I happen to be the executive director for Home Base Cincinnati. We are an umbrella member organization and we work with all the community development corporations in Cincinnati.
Each place is different, so the work of each CDC is a little different, but they might be working on things like access to healthy fresh food, bringing new shops and restaurants to a business district, supporting the production and preservation of affordable housing, or providing safe, fun ways for neighbors to get to know one another.
A community council may be more policy-oriented. A community development corporation, typically focus more on development and revitalizing areas of the neighborhood that may be underserved or disinvested.
I think some of our CDCs here in Cincinnati, some are more focused on that development aspect. But then you have some who are focused on saying, hey, you know what, we have a neighborhood that is food insecure and how do we help our residents with that? You have others where maybe it's a mature neighborhood and they need to focus on community activation and getting residents out. So no, each CDC does not need to look the same. Us folks who are in the CDC world, we are solution-based. We want to have a solution. We want to be there for our community.
Are developers the same thing as community development corporations?
I'm actually glad you brought this up because a developer, I think they look at, okay, what can we build? Where can we put it? Does it financially make sense? Where I think for our community development corporations, Seth, that are saying, you know what, let's do something in the community, and that are actually like taking a role as a developer, you guys are looking at things for saying whether you make $20,000 a year or $200,000 a year. I think our CDCs really look at development with a very balanced approach.
They develop relationships with residents, business owners, community leadership, and other neighborhood stakeholders, and they provide a role in coordinating and bringing together resources and actors to implement and manage projects.
If you look at many of the neighborhoods that have strong organized CDCs, you'll see a lot of those neighborhoods are the ones that are flourishing.
You've heard me say this a lot. Had it not been, and I'll say it again, had it not been for a lot of our CDCs here in Cincinnati, we would not have a lot of the affordable units that we have, market rate units, and units that are kept in great condition and where you're actually connected to your tenants. And it's just such a comprehensive approach to making our neighborhoods better.
CDCs exist throughout the entire Cincinnati region and even the nation.
The work we do is influenced in part by what we learn from other neighborhoods and groups doing that work too.
We recognize as well that the work we do helps influence the next wave of community development, which is why it's important that we do our best to get things right now.
It's not an easy task, but it's one the College Hill community has risen to over the years.
And we hope we'll continue to rise to in the coming years.
And with that, that's our show for tonight. Have a great night, College Hill.